All right, James here from NFL Australia with the Week 13 Power Rankings, a.k.a. the only power rankings that matter. Mine. We're going to start at the bottom. That's right, the QB's refusing to see doctors because he doesn't want to diagnoses and he reckons he's basically a medical expert. That'd be the Jets. Hey, we should get him on TV to tell us all how much of an idiot he is. Good on you, everybody. The next tier is awesome. I love this tier. They're utter butt and their coach is an idiot. That would be my beloved Patriots. Jared Mayo, what are you doing? Oh, yeah, I can't coach them when they're out there. Yes, you can. That's what the headsets are for. What are you doing? You're the coach. Oh, they're out there doing things that I don't know what's happening. They're doing what you told them. Anyway, the Bears, they're bad. Matt Dweeberflew stinks, and the Bears are just bloody horrible. We've also got the Jags. They just stink. They didn't even play last week, and I hate them. The Raiders. They're like, hey, look at us. We're good for a sec. We're really bad. Check this out. Now we don't even have Gardner Minshew. And the Titans, they came out of nowhere, beat the Texans. Their coach is an idiot. Their QBs, they're throwing interceptions like they're just going out of fashion. And they won. It's like, that's not what you meant to do. You meant to lose. You're tanking you. Titans can't even tank properly. Anyway, the next one is more cooked than Charlie Sheen. That's the Niners. There is something amiss in San Francisco. Oh, yes, it's a lot. It's a lot that's amiss. I don't know. Sometimes teams just have the year from hell. It's the Niners this year. The Browns, look, how good was that last week? You had the snow globe game. You had Jameis Winston basically just having a moment, a come-to-God moment halfway through giving some sort of rousing speech and a big smile spreads across his face. He's out there throwing interceptions in the snow. Doesn't matter. Still got the win. On you, Jameis. Hey, the Bengals, they stink. They had a bye last week, but they're still bad and they're cooked. Look, they had a heartbeat, but then Denver just keep on winning. So now the Bengals are Dunskies. Same sort of goes to the Saints. They're a couple of games behind the Atlanta Falcons in that division, but because the Falcons beaten their heads in a couple of times, they're cooked. Dallas, they got a win against the Commanders. How funny was that? Thing is, they're more cooked than basically, I don't know, if you put an egg, you know when they do that thing and they put an egg on like a bonnet in the heat or something, it's like, it's cooking. Yeah, that's what Dallas is, but the sun is coming through the Dallas Cowboys stadium windows into their eyes and burning out their retinas. That's how bad they are to watch too. The Panthers, they've been fun. I didn't think I'd say that in week 13, but here we are. Good on you, Bryce Young. And the Giants, what an absolute train wreck they are. I didn't want to put them in the utter butt and coach is an idiot tier because I like Brian Daboll. The problem is he lost too much weight. I'm like doing the reverse of fat shaming. He should get fat again because he lost all of his coaching talents when he got skinny. Do not like it. I love you, Brian Daboll. Anyway, struggling, but a chance. This is an interesting tier. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how good was bloody your man Baker Mayfield last week? He was awesome. He's like diving over the end. He's like laying out dudes on like coverages. It was awesome. And they won. They'd smashed the Giants. But there's a little bit of a heartbeat there. Don't mind the Bucks. The Dolphins, they kicked the absolute bejesus out of my Patriots. There's a hint of a heartbeat. They're still a bit cooked, though. The Rams, same sort of thing goes for them. They beat the Pats a couple of weeks ago and then got smashed by the Eagles. I don't think they're very good. And the same goes for the Colts. See, this entire tier is just like these teams where it's like, are you good? And they're like, we don't know, Jim. I'm like, okay, good on you. This tier, though, the okay-ish, but I'm a bit worried tier. I'm a bit worried about the Texans. Oh, geez, James, have you been yelling about this all year? Yes. They've never looked good. They've looked scrappy. They've looked wobbly. They've looked stanky. They've won a bunch of games, though. So, I don't know. You can't argue with the results. Maybe they'll turn a corner, but I'm worried about the Texans. Same goes for the Commies. They were 7-2. Now they're 7-5. My beloved Jaden Daniels, he's helping me out in fantasy sometimes. But wowzers. You had that game basically going to overtime, then Austin Siebert shanks the field goal. God, that was brutal to watch, wasn't it? Bit worried about the Commies. The Cardinals as well. This team is like totally Jekyll and Hyde. They're just like, hey, check this out. We're going to smash everybody. Oh, we're going to put up 6 points to Seattle. That was horrible. And the Falcons, I'm just worried about them all the time because they stink. Legit playoff teams. The Steelers, they've gotten a bit wonky here and there, but they'll be fine. They're a playoff team. The Seahawks, they're maybe a playoff team. I might have jumped the gun a little bit here, but this has been my team all year out of the NFC West. I loved the Seahawks. Their defense has been really good the last couple of weeks, so I'm calling them a shot. Playoff team. Denver. Bo Nixon might just go and ruin my pick for Jaden Daniels Offensive Rookie of the Year. What are you doing, Bo? He's older than I am. And he played 87 years in college, and now he's a pro. Good on you, Bo Nix. But the Denver Broncos are doing all right. And the Chargers, that was a tough loss in the Harbaugh Bowl. But I still believe in Juzzy Herbs and that Chargers team to be a playoff team because that defense is something else. The bloody good tier, a.k.a. Soupy question mark. I love the Soupy question mark because if everything goes right, these teams could find themselves randomly in a Super Bowl. They're just like, what are we doing here? How did that happen? The Ravens, their offense is unreal. Against the Chargers, they looked awesome this week. The thing is, the defense just has these weird question marks time and time again. But then you just go, we'll just run Derrick Henry for 140 yards. Thumbs up. Green Bay, how is this team 8-3 or whatever they are? Like, no one knows. Jordan Love's just like, good, I guess. The defense is good, I guess. They made some awesome free agents acquisitions in the offseason. That's actually worked out once for Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, and they rule. They're doing really well. The problem is they're in the NFC North, which is just an absolute dogfight because it's also got the Vikings in it and the Detroit Lions and the Vikings. They're just like, dude, what more can we do? We're awesome defensively. We're riding Sam Darnold, but geez, look, we're still the Vikings, so we know that something's going to go wrong and we're not going to make a Super Bowl. It's the classic Vikings thing, right? That's how they do. And then finally, the God tier, the elite tier, the smashing Teams Stackin Wins tier. KC, they almost stacked a bit of a loss to the Panthers on the weekend, but Pat Mahomes, he's going, yeah, it was really tough there for a second, but I managed to scamper for 33 yards and I saved the game. So, okay, thanks, Patrick. And then the Detroit Lions, they're unreal. They're unstoppable. You know, there's been 11 games that Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery have both had touchdowns. That's insane. I love the Lions. The Eagles, they've been unreal. The Vic Fangio defense has really kicked into gear. They're crushing at the moment as well. They look like basically the only team in the NFC that could really take it to the Lions. With all due respect to the Vikings, you're not in this tier. You're in the bloody good soupy question mark tier. I'm just saying. And the other one's Buffalo. Talk about a bit of out of sight, out of mind. They needed a nice week. Look, they're going to be awesome this week. I can't wait for more Buffalo. They're awesome. They're smashing Teams Stackin Wins. And that is the NFL Australia Week 13 Power Rankings. Subscribe to the show or I'll have to fight you.